morning, everybody. It is 39 degrees here in Lehi, Utah, going to a high of 47. Now, this is all in Fahrenheit, and so the next that I tell you will go especially for you, Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, in England or other areas of the world. It would actually be 3 degrees Celsius right now, going up to a high of 8 degrees Celsius. So anyway, hope that helps you out, Michelle. But no freaking cold this time. It's actually kind of cloudy and supposed to be possible rain or snow, depending on how warm it gets a little later and when that inclement weather comes. But it is cloudy right now. So I want to say hi to everybody. I'm Colette the Highway Stitcher. Here to give you my stitching updates from the highway and at home. And I'm back here after a week to for a couple reasons actually, and one of them is, of course, if I am home and not traveling, I would rather do it more often because then these videos will be a little shorter. And then also, since I was having some issues with some storage issues and bugs in the storage issue on my pet tablet, I thought, oh, I want to do this video and then save it and see how it works before I get back to my son and try to figure something else out. So because of that, you're getting another video within a week, and hopefully next week I will do the same. Those who joined me for my 50th video, 2-year anniversary, know that I have some giveaways. So if you're interested, I am not going to choose those until the end of the month when I do my end of the month video. So feel free to go back to my last video, which is number 50. I think it said, I can't believe I made it, or something like that. But anyway, it's number 50 video. And it'll give you the giveaway items and what words you have to use. And then put your comments in that number 50 video, please, because that's where I'm going to be pulling the winners from. Anyway, a lot of you have already commented. I love some of your comments. They are so hilarious. So thank you. And so creative too. So thank you so much for joining me in that, and good luck to you. So I'm going to go on, see how we can get this one finished up and how long it takes, and tell you what I worked on this week from last Tuesday when I did my last video up to today, and then my plans for next week. And then also I do have a little Stitchy Kindness and some monthly haul that I get every month, and a life update too at the end. So anyway, FO, as those who know who've been watching me at least since January, you know that I've been working on the Lizzie-Kate Flip It series, the stamp Flip It series, every month. So at the beginning of the month, on the 1st of the month, I work on this as my daily 30 every day. And I try to get at least 300 stitches, if not more, on it to get it done by at least a week, if not less time. Sometimes I've gotten it done in 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week, depending on how my week has been. So anyway, here's the little guy. He is done. There he is. I stitched him, if you're not aware, if you're just joining me now, it's on 28 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. Love this color. It's working out really nicely for all the flippets so far, so I'm glad for that because it was not the called for, but I think it's working out really nicely. I did fully finish this. I have to go back to February and put my buttons in, but with this I already put the buttons in, as you can see, and did the back stitch, the little back stitch that needed to be done. I am using, as much as I can, the called for over-dyed threads for this. This month, I believe there was only one color that I had to sub out. If you really want to know, ask me a question down below on it and I'll look. But the rest of them were the called for sampler or weeks over-dyed. So he's done for the month, so I won't be working on that until the April one, when it comes on April 1st. I'm also caught up on temperature typography. This is Sarah Stitchy Mommy's temperature of the year chart. This last week I did all of M for starting with March. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Peanut Lugana by BeStichMe Fabrics. I'm doing a yearly subscription to BeStichMe, so that's decided to start using some of their fabrics. This one is not an easy one to pick up the color. It is actually kind of a creamy color, a darker cream. So, and again, you know, sometimes the video doesn't pick it up the best. Interestingly, if you look, a lot of times Stitchy Mommy will say, what happened with the temperatures this week? With mine, again, my Utah weather is kind of wild, goes back and forth, and March is true to the saying of it comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb, generally. As you can see, my blues are all my cold colors. So here at the top, we started with a fairly cold, probably high 30s for a high. And then as we've worked our way down, we've gotten into warmer. And down here at the end, this was Saturday, I believe, or Sunday. I'm not sure which day now. But we had a high of almost 70. So that's the wildness of the M, the start of March. This has been fun. I love the colors and how they're turning out. I may change out one of my greens. I'm not sure yet because there's two of them that are really close. I want to keep one, and I think the other one I'm going to change out. But so far with the rest, I've been really happy with it. I usually do that every Sunday. And usually just do one letter. I wait so I can do one whole letter. Okay, now we're going to go on to SALs and any progress I did. Last week I worked on my Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler, started part 3 of the Talavera SAL. Linen and Threads, you always do this to me. Sorry. The first, we had to do the framework for this, which took me forever. I did get it done in the month of January. Then we had our February tile. That's what I'm going to call it, is because they're kind of like tiles for the Talavera Spanish tile work. And we only had this little bit to do. So I got that done. I thought, great. And now we have March. And look at this. We got this and this and this. I'm going to be Talaveraing for the next month to get this finished, especially since I might change out my way my colors move around in it too. So then when I do that, it takes me a little longer. It's not like just stitching one color. So, but that's the whole thing that's fun about this. I'm following my, I have a piece of Talavera pottery and I'm following that for my colors. So that in and of itself does cause it to take a little bit longer. But let me see here. I'm really liking how this is looking. But I'm going to put this behind it so you can see a little better. I'm stitching this on a 32 count, just a white Lugana. I wanted the colors to stand out, so I just chose a pure white. And somebody asked me in comments what my colors were for this, so I will go ahead and tell you what I'm using. For the framework in this, and then some of the, a few of the other parts, it's 796, which is like a royal blue. That, of course, I have the most on because of doing all that framework and then other adding. So I'll probably go through that fairly fast. Then I have two like green, teal green type of colors, a lighter one and a darker one. This is the lighter one, it's DMC 3851. And then the darker one is 38112. I mean 3812. 3812. And then for my other contrasting colors, I have 720 for this rust orange. And then 742 for this kind of a golden yellow, I would say. Those were the colors from my pottery that I have on my in my kitchen, and I liked that quite a bit, so that's what I opted to do for this. So again, here she is, and I'll be working on her all this month to try to get those borders done. I'm going to finish this border this way and alternating the orange and the yellow and the teals. When I get to the middle here, I may change it out and have the orange and the yellow as the outside part, and then the green light and darker teal greens is the middle. And even though it works my brain doing this one, because I'm constantly trying to change out on how I place my colors, it's not one that goes along easily like last year's, where it was just like more of a Quaker motifs, where I just used one color that shaded through, and I was able to finish that faster. This one has been taking longer because I am switching out my color choices on how to place it for the stitching. But it's been fun too. So, okay, now we go on to regular whips. The first one that I worked on during the week was one of my zombie run pieces. This is Welcome to the River. I got 435 stitches into it. And this one I want to put with a board behind it too, because it'll show up a lot nicer. And before it was, the R was just started, it was outlined. So as you can see, I finished the inside of the R, filling it in, back stitching it, and started the I for my 435. I don't think I really counted the back stitches in that, but be more like probably 450 or more. But anyway, I'm really, as everything comes along on this, I am just amazed at how much I love the colors, how the colors are turning out, and just how vibrant they are. Love it more and more. It's not at all like the picture on the pattern. Oh, by the way, the pattern is a Hinzeit pattern if you're interested, and it's still available, I'm pretty sure, if you are interested in it. And I am stitching this to go up at our second home, our vacation home that we have in Washougal, Washington, which is on a river. So I'm going to put this above the, probably the sliding glass door where we go out, get it finished and framed. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is just looking prettier every time I see it. It was started as a 2018 Stitch Mania when I did not keep track of my fabric choices. I apologize. So it is a 28 count linen, that I do know because I checked, but it is a mystery color, just like a natural, but it's a natural color linen, that I do know. And it has the call for DMC threads. Okay. Next, I'm going to go into, I mostly, besides Talavera and the Lizzie-Kate and Zombie Run, Welcome to the River, I mostly worked on some full coverage to get some things done in my full coverage challenges. The first one, this is going to have to be a long catch-up. Who knows if I'll catch up on it or not. This is a Lacemaker by Artecy cross stitch. I had chosen this for my 21 in 21, which is 21,000 stitches in 2021, which is doable if you keep up on it, but I did not take it with me to my sister's house, where I was for 2.5, 3 weeks. It was a hard choice. I realized I would be way behind in it, but I also knew too that with the white that is in it, as you will see, it would have been hard for me to see and stitch and concentrate at my sister's house. So I think I made the right choice still in not bringing it. So now I'm going to see if I can play catch up with it. It's been all white so far. Right there, you can actually see the stitching. There are a few holes in it for light blue that will be coming up. I did this week stitch 312 stitches in it to play some catch up, but I'm still just barely at 1,000, and I believe, if I remember right, I think you had to get about 1,600 per month, so I'm way behind, but that's all right. My main focus on this is I would always start this piece and then just get so burned out with the white. Full coverage, I don't mind full coverage black. Some people don't like filling in with black. As I'll show you in the next piece, I don't have any problem with that at all. But when it's really light, I just go, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So I keep forcing myself this week. You know, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on it all this month. Try to get down to where I have no more of the white and the light blue. And then I'll be singing hallelujah. I'm on to some different colors. And I'll be looking forward to confetti, I'll tell you, with this. I just don't like full coverage with white. I think it's just, I don't know. It's a little harder for me to see too, even, I mean, unless I've got really good light, and it's so boring. So, but anyway, I did quite a bit on her, even though it's just barely 1,000 stitches total. So I will continue to try to play catch up. Also this week, I've been working on the historic days of the Full Coverage Fanatics monthly challenge. If you want to see more on that, go to Full Coverage Fanatics and type on events. They picked up out days of the month where something historically important happened. So this week I worked on Maleficent for a couple of the prompts. So here she is. I remember one of the prompts was witches, but I don't remember what the other one was. So I would have to look it up. I'm not going to pull her totally out. Last week I did. You could see that I had like this much more done up here, but it's all just, you know, not really a picture of her. It's like just more background. So this week I did about 600 plus stitches because I had 300 in each prompt. Last week when I showed her, I had just outlined my diagonal here so that I could fill in, which mostly the fill in is black. There's one section here that isn't and one section here that isn't, but the rest of it is black, 310. So because of that, I was able to fill in. There was a little bit here on this side of this purple, and then the little bit of purple, and then down here all the way down to there. So that was my work on her this week. And I enjoy doing DMC 310. I mean, I think if I had to do like all background for like 1,000 blocks, I probably would get burned out. But with her, I just love seeing her cape take shape. And so the black, most of the time black in full coverage doesn't bother me. So that's Maleficent. I forgot to mention on Lacemaker, but again, it's 25 count, 1/1, but it's non-gridded. I'm gridding as I go with that, and then this one is gridded fabric, but it is also 25 count, 1/1 stitch, full cross. And then I have one other, hardly did anything on it. Yesterday I worked on it a little bit, and then I had to rip some out, which is hard to do, you know, with full coverage, but I had to because it was I had totally counted wrong on it. So I got about 117 stitches in on African Woman with Peonies 2 by Artecy. Where we left her before, all of this was already here. All that I accomplished with my little 117 was starting to pick up a blue color here for this flower and then kind of putting it where I needed to go. I did 2 links of 2 different blues. One was a light blue, one was more of a medium blue. And this is actually not a peony, that this is, when this takes shape, this will be an iris that's put in the pot. You know, there's peonies all there, but that's an iris actually there. So not too much, but I don't know. I still wanted to show it. So, and this is also 25 count. This is a gridded fabric, 1/1 full cross. Welcome to the River is 2/2. So, okay, I'm going on to my haul now. I have monthly haul. One thing I get is I get monthly fabric from BeStichMe, or not BeStitched, BeStichMe. This month I've been getting a 32 count even weave because I don't have very much even weave. And this is called Peonies. Look at this pretty subtle modeling of like a lavender. I would call it more of a lavender color. It's really pretty. I really like this. So that was my fabric of the month. And then I also got my flosses of the month from Color and Cotton. And I'm getting 10 altogether. Other people get 5. So some of these will be familiar to you from other people's floss tubes. But I just got them, so I thought I'd show them. This is an Egyptian blue. This is a limited edition that she sent. If you look at it, it's more variegated than some of hers. It's like colors of teal blues, I would say. A teal blue and then like a regular blue shaded. It's real pretty. This is Flamingo, and of course it's a Flamingo colors. This is Old Lace. Pretty good for that, since I love to make lace. It really is like old lace. And this is Nickel, which is a shading of grays, as you can see from about there. And then my other 5, I get 10 total. This is Lava Stone. So it's like a purple brown, a subtle shading. A little hard to tell. Maybe it looks just like a deep brown or deep purple there, but it does have some shading to it. Antique Rose. I've used this one before and I really like it. It's rose, subtle shades of rose color. Aged Pumpkin, so this is more like a prim pumpkin color. Storm Clouds, and of course that's like a stormy day with shading. And Battleship, a pretty prim type of dark blue. So those are my Color and Cotton for this month. Whoops, I almost lost my my pen down here. Okay, on to Stitchy Kindness. I was contacted by a commenter. Her name's Rebecca, and she wanted to know if she could send me some patterns and fabric and floss that she didn't use. I'm not sure on the floss. You know, maybe she was just sending that to be nice, but the other stuff is for me to do giveaways if I would like her to keep. So she sent me some Ada, light blue Ada. It's a pretty color. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this, like I said, or if I'm going to do them as giveaways. And then these are Homes of the Month. Kind of fun. If I do them as giveaway, I might do them like as a full set, because they're different like months with houses. They're not all the months, but you know, several of them. So real cute. And then she sent me some floss. This one I'll be giving away. I always put more floss in my floss containers because floss is getting more expensive, and anytime I can get free floss, I'm always happy. So thank you so much, Rebecca. That's very kind of you to send those to me. And then I got some Stitchy Kindness from, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. From Shelly, Key X Stitch on Floss Tube. Watch her videos. She's like me. She has an eclectic mix of patterns and styles and stitching that she likes to do, as well as she stitches very beautifully on different counts of Ada fabric, and her pieces are beautiful. So watch Shelly Key X Stitch. Anyway, she made this project bag for me. I think a couple videos ago, Shelly had mentioned she found, I don't know if she found this or somebody gave it, but it was at Walmart. I'm pretty positive it was gotten at Walmart. And it is a table runner. You can tell that probably from how it's made, how it's stitched down there, and then it's got like the brighter color flowers on one end of the table runner, and then, you know, little yellow rosebuds, and then the other side also had a bright bunch of flowers on it. And she mentioned she was thinking of putting them together and making project bags. So I came on and on comments and I go, pretty please, can I have one? Because I've always thought it'd be cool to have a project bag made out of a table runner or out of a tablecloth. And this looked kind of like, to me it looks more old-fashioned. I kind of wanted an old-fashioned type of a project bag. So Shelley made this. That's pretty cute. The cute zipper in yellow is quite a nice accent. And I love where she placed the flowers and everything. So anyway, thanks so much, Shelley. Really. Love you. Love you lots for making that for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. On to plans now, and then I will wrap this up. My plans this week, we'll see if I get a video in for next Tuesday. But I will be working on Talavera here every day for a daily 30 at least. In some cases, I may even work more to get that caught up. And also, I'm putting in as a daily 30 now that the March Flip It is done, Lizzie-Kate's done, my Lacemaker. I would like to get about 500 stitches in her a week if I can. That won't catch me up, but at least it'll keep me on keel for the month of March, meaning that I won't be catching up for more than 1 month from the looks of it. So that will also be every day. Today I'm going to work on one of my Whip Go choices, number 10 on my Whip Go was Arcadia by Satsuma Street. I've shown this before. The only time I worked on it was when we went as a family to Disneyland a couple years ago. It's not a Mania start, so it doesn't get picked out for that. So I put it on my Whip Go board to try to get some work done on it. So I believe I showed this before, but I'm going to work on my Whip Go today, on Tuesday, and then I'm also going to work on it again on Friday. So here's what I did before. So I'll have more to show you. I'm hoping it would be nice if I had about 600, 700 stitches, if not more, on this, but we'll see how I do. It has some metallics, some regular, and they're all DMC. Oh, this is on 25 count, 2/2, so it's going to be big. Alaska Blue Lugana with a call for DMC. And the reason why I started it when we were at Disneyland is it reminds me of It's a Small World. And I think I may try to change a little bit design-wise. And right there, I would like to put in a clock. I just have to design it. So to remind me of the clock that's at It's a Small World. So I'll be working on that on Tuesday and Friday. On Wednesday, I am going to start. I started at about 3 or 4 stitches of it, but I'm not showing 3 stitches that I did. But I will start more big time. And on Wednesday, I'm going to work on this Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. She's on Etsy. SAURCYGIRL. If you want to look at this up. She is offering this, I think, free, though I have not checked lately if it is. She would just like a donation to a charity, if you could do that. I love this. I picked out an 18th century rook, R&R fabric that I'm going to use, a darker fabric, and then I've just opted to go with a DMC threads on it, and we'll see how it turns out. Just think it's so pretty. I love all the characters on it. So that will be my Wednesday piece, focus piece. My Thursday focus piece will be moving on to another zombie run. So, and that will be Garden Prelude by Mirabillia. So 400 stitches will be put into this. Hopefully Thursday will get my 400 stitches. If I have an issue with time or whatever else, then I will play catch up on Monday before my floss tube. Let's see. I'm going to grab my, because this might show up better actually on this. Because I mentioned, I believe last week or before, no, it's still not showing up the best. This is being stitched on a 32 count Demoiselle Picture This Plus. And Demoiselle is a very subtle light shadings of pinks, blues, greens. Very, very pretty in person, but not very easy to see on a video. So my plan is, now that I've finished with her hair, my plan is probably to move down and work on her dress. And maybe pick up some back stitching, finish it up on, I think her one arm needs some back stitching in the violin. I'll see what I do. If I just want to get the 400 plus stitches in, of course, I'll just be working on her dress. So. And I converted her face and her hair, as I mentioned last week, due to the fact that this is a high school graduation gift for my oldest grandchild, my granddaughter Mari. She plays the violin very proficiently, is in an orchestra. So that will be my zombie run for this week. I'm going to work on it on Thursday and hopefully get my 400 plus stitches in that to check that off for my miles and zombie run. If not, I'll play the catch up with the stitches on Monday. So that moves to Friday. I had already mentioned Arcadia would be my focus piece on Friday, probably Friday morning. Friday afternoon, I will be spending some video time with Sarah, Stitchy Mommy. And if you've watched her video already from yesterday, you'll know that we are working on the Drawn Threads, Those Who Sing. And this is my birthday start. So I am working on this the whole year. And if I get done earlier, great, but I won't start a new piece until my next birthday. This has a few specialty stitches. In my case, I opted to not do them until I'm all done, since I work on since I usually work on with a Q-snap. I don't want them getting, even though I put things under my Q-snap, I don't want them getting, you know, flattened or whatever. So, and most of the specialty stitches are in the flowers that go there and then in the beaks of the birds. So this is being stitched on a 32 count Zweigart Vintage Stormy Night. Really pretty fabric, and Zweigart has some real pretty mottled fabrics where they're just dyed on one side, but on the other side, as you can see, there's no mottling. So they're a little bit more inexpensive, where you can get some real pretty look to them, but you don't have to pay as much as a full over-dyed fabric. This is what I've gotten done so far. Everybody's done kind of differently with this. One of my friends, who's my birthday twin, Krista, I believe is using the silks that are called for on this. I am using, there was a conversion to Gentle Arts, mostly Gentle Arts. There might be a couple DMCs. I decided to opt for that because I had a lot of those Gentle Arts already in my stash. And then there's also DMC, and then Sarah, I believe, is pulling things out of her own stash. So this is what mine looks like so far. As you can see, the part bird, bird's beak is not there because it's, I believe, satin stitches. I can't remember. And then the flowers are not there yet. But the regular cross stitch is. So my plan is to move farther down, just regular cross stitch wise, doing more of the tree and some of the leaves. So, which is probably all I'll get done, especially if we're talking. But this one at least is a little easier to work on when you're talking with somebody. So I'll be doing that on Friday, along with Arcadia. Saturday, my plan is, well, I'm for sure going to do it along with my daily 30 of Talavera and Lacemaker. I am going to start up another 400 stitches on Welcome to the River, the piece I just showed you. I want to get, my goal is to get that one finished hopefully this month. And I can add more miles to it on Zombie Run just so I get at least 2 miles on every, on my 4 pieces that I chose. So I've got 12 miles that I have to do. So I figured I'm going to go ahead and get another 400 stitches on that. And I should be able to do that on this Saturday, I think. My grandson's 14th birthday is this Saturday, and we will be taking him out and doing things with him. But I think we'll be able to, you know, I'll be able to get that done. So that'd be great. On Sunday, I will work on the other pieces that I already mentioned and catch up on temperature typography. And on Monday, I'm going to do any catch-up stitches on Zombie Run or a garden prelude for Zombie Run. And if they both got done, which I'm hoping that's the case, then I will pick my next zombie run piece, which is Feeding Time by Needle Treasures. This little cute Hummel girl feeding her chickens. And I already showed you this pic, but I'll show you it again. I completed her leg down to there, this part of the apron, and this chicken. So my plan is to do this leg, some of the leg, and then some of this chicken. I think that's what I'll do for my 400 stitches. And I'm hoping that Monday, that will be what I'm working on, is just Feeding Time to get the 400 stitches in on that. So, okay, I'm going to give you just a little bit life updates and then wrap this all up. I don't know what's going on with my life, and I don't want anybody to bring up any comments saying things come in threes, because they better not come in threes, because I will not be looking. I just will say nope, 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 nope. Last week, after my video, a very, very dear friend of mine contacted me, and her son died in a car accident. That's the second car accident that's affected me in the last 3 months. First being my sister is my brother-in-law. This has just been really, really hard. Really hard. This is a very, very close friend of mine. We've known each other for 40 plus years. Our kids grew up together in our church. She happened to move up to St. George when I moved up here to northern Utah. So I would still, on my way down to California to stitching retreats or lace retreats, I would always stop and stay at her place in St. George. About a year, 2 years ago, she moved up here to northern Utah, so I can see her like every month now. We stitch together. She kept her place in St. George, and her son was living there. And I stayed there the last couple times, when I was on my way down to my sister's and on my way back. So that's how close we are. And it was just an unfortunate, it didn't involve anybody else. He ran into a barricade and died instantly. So anyway, if any of you are praying types, I know you've been praying for my sister, and I appreciate that. She has really felt your prayers, and she mentioned that to me last week, to thank all of you for praying for her. If you're so inclined, could you add my friend, her name is Jane, and her family to your prayers, thoughts and prayers? I would appreciate it. This is just really hard, really, really hard. So anyway, that is one update. The other is one of those stupid procedures that you have to do every few years when you're an old person. I had to do this week, and I had a little bit harder time recovering from it than I normally do. And so that, combined with finding out about Trevor, my friend's son, I don't believe that I got as much stitching done this week. Even though I was showing you stitching, I just don't think I got as much done as I normally do. So, but we'll go forward and hope that this next week is a better week. I will end my daily gratitude journal, which I have been remembering. I've so appreciated the March ones. They've been talking about friends and friendship. Loved the one last week. So I found this one. The picture just is so me. It says, "Best friend, my wellspring in the wilderness," and that's how I feel with my dear friends. They are my wellspring in the wilderness, and this picture so reminds me of the Washougal River, where our second home is, and that area that I love in the Pacific Northwest. So, friends, good friends, you are my wellspring in the wilderness, and may you continue to help others in your life, and they be you be their well springs. So, gonna end. Remember the beauty out there. Look for it on the highway and at home. It's there. And love you lots. And I'll talk to you next week and let you know if I kept up on everything. Bye-bye, everyone.